what is consciousness?
For me, there are two aspects to answering that question. One is, what's the nature of consciousness? How does something like consciousness exist in an otherwise apparently non-conscious universe? And then there's a function question, which is equally important, which is, what does consciousness do? The first one is obviously, problematic for most people. Like, yeah, consciousness seems to be so different from the rest of the non-conscious universe. But I put it to you that the function question is also very hard, because you are clearly capable of very sophisticated, intelligent behavior without consciousness. You are turning the noises coming out of my face hole into ideas in your mind, and you have no conscious awareness of how that process is occurring. So why do we have consciousness at all? Now, here's the thing. There's an extra question you need to ask. Should we attempt to answer those questions separately, or should we attempt to answer them in an integrated fashion? I make the case that you actually have to answer them in an integrated fashion. What consciousness does and what it is. We should be able to give it a unified answer to both of those.
Can you try to elucidate the difference between what consciousness is and what it does, both of which are mysteries, as you say? State versus action. Can you try to explain the difference that's interesting, that's useful, that's important to understand?
So that's putting me in a bit of a difficult position, because I actually argue that trying to answer them separately is ultimately incoherent. But what I can point to are many published articles in which only one of these problems is addressed and the other is left unaddressed. So people will try and explain what qualia are, how they potentially emerge, without saying, what do they do? What problems do they help to solve? How do they make the organism more adaptive? And then you'll have other people who say, no, this is what the function of consciousness is, but I don't know, I can't tell you, I can't solve the hard problem. I don't know how qualia exist. So what I'm saying is many people treat these problems separately, although I think that's ultimately an incoherent way to approach the problem.
So the hard problem is focusing on what it is.
Yes.
So the qualia, that it feels like something to experience a thing, that's what consciousness is. And does is more about the functional usefulness of the thing.
Yes, yes.
To the whole beautiful mix of cognition and just function in everyday life. Okay. You've also said that you can do very intelligent things without consciousness.
Yes, clearly.
Is that obvious to you?
Yes. I don't know what I'm doing to access my memory. It just comes up. And it comes up really intelligently.